Time now for our rants and raves, and we're going to start with you, Dan.
I have a rant for the Fox News Channel. We could do them every week, but, you know, we wait for special occasions. The special occasion now is that we have learned, apparently it happened a while ago, but we just learned, it's been reported, that they have dropped the slogan fair and balanced and replaced it with most watched, most trusted. And what I find interesting about this is that the fair and balanced slogan was always meant as a provocation more than an actual description of the programming. But at least they were playing lip service to the idea of fair journalism.
It just caught on. I mean,
and it caught on.
Yeah,
now it looks like they're just embracing in a more explicit way than they ever have before the partisan talk show culture.
But ABC used to be the most trusted news organization in America. I mean, you know, what happens when they're not the most watched? Doesn't matter.
No,
it's like fair and balanced. Doesn't matter.
You keep saying you are anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently it doesn't matter because they're not the most watched at the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, by some they are, so there you go. Yeah.
All right, John.
Well, I have a rave for a frequent whipping, I don't want to say put a gender on this, whipping network of mine, CNN. I appreciated the fact that they went live with their primetime programming from the congressional baseball game the other day. It's kind of an emotional moment, maybe a little insider-ish. I don't know if the rest of the nation was hanging on the shots of Schumer, Pelosi, McConnell, and Ryan smooching together or whatever, or embracing. But, you know, in a really, the wake of a really horrible moment, it was a nice occasion. It kind of brought in Americana with a sense of political unity.
Who won?
The Democrats won.
But then
they blew them out.
But then they gave the trophy to the Republicans.
Yeah.
Really?
One of the wounded Capitol Police officers threw out the first ball. Really, there wasn't a dry eye. And it was just a smart move and a nice thing to do.
I heard a lot of people watching it. I was out. I missed it. But
I'm glad they did that.
Yeah, good. All right, Callie.
I like to find a little light in the darkness. So as we are describing fake news, and the struggle with, you know, all of us trying to identify what it is, Reuters has done a report looking at the fact that readers are getting savvier about news that they read. Of almost 2,000 people, Reuters readers, they polled in early May, 74% said they strongly agree that they check now with sites that they trust to verify breaking news stories. And that's up from 66% last year. 76% say they turned to trusted news sites to verify stories they see on social media. That's huge.
That is huge.
Well,
notice they go to social media.
The site they trust is InfoWars.
Well, but no. But they're talking about, you know, people that verify and document, not crazy people. That's why I was impressed by this. Trusted, going to make sure that they could verify stories.
Yeah, but you know what's sad about that? What? They're on the social media to begin with, getting their news. Go, oh, look at that! I wonder if that's true.
No,
and then they
I don't know. Anyway,
right?
I listen. You gotta start somewhere.
And it is good that people are taking
they're
the
being
burden
aware.
on themselves.
Yes, that's right. What you have to do. You have to become media literate.
Yeah. All right, Lila.
Well, my rave goes out to the journalists who took to Twitter when they were told to shut their cameras off in the halls of Congress. It wasn't an official rule. Yeah. It wasn't that they enacted a new law, but they went around telling, I think it started with the NBC journalists, that they needed to shut off their cameras, that they needed special permission from the Congressional Rules Committee, which is led by Republicans, and also from the senators that they wanted to interview in advance before shooting in certain public areas. The reason it's a rave that they took to Twitter and eventually the Rules Committee walked back that decision is because when the cameras get shut off, the reporters can still find out what's going on. It's the public that's really getting shut out in that moment. And so I'm glad that they're now able to chase down those senators, especially as a health care bill is being deliberated without much input from the public. I'm glad they were able to get the cameras back on.
Congress needs to get cameras into the federal courts, too. That's the biggest thing they got to do.
Gotta love the way, though, that they took a page out of President Trump's book and used Twitter to bypass the mainstream media. Oops, they are the mainstream media.
Yeah. And I want to just give a shout out to those congresspersons who said, we didn't say that. Wait a minute. We don't agree with this.
Yes.
So anyway,
no one knows whose idea it was.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I have a rant tonight for the New York Times Magazine last Sunday. So I open up the magazine. I look at the magazine. It's this dramatic pictures of Chelsea Manning, who's only a couple months out of jail. A complete transformation, body, face, hair. And the pictures were just absorbing. I mean, this was somebody who has, gone through a transgender process. But The New York Times Magazine did hair color, did makeup, did clothing. And they did disclose it, but I went back and looked for other sort of pop culture stories. They didn't do that for them.
So she got a makeover?
It looked to me like they wanted this person to be more provocative, more exotic, more feminine, I guess, in a way. And it was just like, yeah, because we went back 2 or 3 stories for the same kinds of features on people, and there was no hair and
Did we
makeup.
think they were above that?
I just found it. I mean, this is a convicted felon too. 'Cause some of the other, people they've profiled, women, they didn't do it for them unless there was a women.
Are you sure nobody ever gets makeup?
I'm sure
for
they do.
those? Yeah,
but this
okay.
was really hair color. Kelly,
No,
that could be $400.
Well,
as
more
you
than
know.
that, probably. Yeah.